Hey guys, it's Mr. Vince, and I hope you have a great day today, and that's right, I have officially returned to making a top 5 video. In this video, I'm going to be counting down my top 5 coolest newer season cars. So I won't be including the OG season cars in this video, so that means the Arachnid, Raptor, JB8, and Torpedo will be excluded. So I went ahead and carefully looked through every new season card that has released to Jailbreak since Season 1 New Beginnings, and I picked out my top 5 favorites. I also went ahead and did 2 honorable mentions, but with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into number 5. So I'm going to be starting the list with this vehicle right here, and that is the Beam Hybrid. The Beam Hybrid was introduced in Season 1 New Beginnings, and you just had to reach level 10 with a lot of pure luck just to get this vehicle. Because at the time, Season 1 New Beginnings was a very terrifying yet difficult season to progress. Since the fact that it was super hard to get level 10 at the time, about less than 1,000 people managed to reach level 10 legitimately, and I was one of those people. So this is the Beam Hybrid, as you can see, and it's actually a pretty decent supercar because the BMW IA is actually pretty solid in miles per hour. But obviously the Beam Hybrid isn't the best vehicle in the game. So this is the Beam Hybrid over here, and I'll go ahead and customize it. Kind of cool I can do that with cinematic camera, but yeah, this is the Beam Hybrid, as you can see. And its max miles per hour can go up to about 200, which is actually not that good compared to the JB8 and the MCL36, but it isn't the worst. The Beam Hybrid itself looks very good in design, and even if it was released in 2020, this is still a fantastic looking vehicle. Anyway, the Beam Hybrid was introduced in the 2020 winter update alongside the DeLorean and various other things like the brand new winter map that brought in the Auroras and obviously Season 1. So this is the Beam, and I think it's just fantastic. The value of the Beam is actually pretty decent right now. I'm pretty sure it is about 30 million, although I could be mistaken. The Beam has been dropping as far as I know. So the vehicle itself is great in terms of design, but performance-wise, it's not the best. But now let's go ahead and jump right into number 4. Number 4 is the Baby Brother car, or the Tiny Toy. It looks so cute. No, it's not the Camaro, but it's a smaller variant of it. The Tiny Toy was introduced in Season 11 as part of the August 2022 update, which also introduced the revamped cargo train. The Tiny Toy could be obtained by reaching level 8 in Season 11, and in my opinion, this is actually the funniest season car in the game. Well, aside from the banana car, because, well, it was part of the meme season, so there's that. The Tiny Toy itself may not be the best in value, but it's definitely a funny car to drive in. But that's mainly because the Tiny Toy is just a shrunken down version of the Camaro with a new convertible top. So this is the Tiny Toy at stock, and it's actually not that bad. It's about the speed of the Camaro, but it has better launch and acceleration. But the thing is, that's only if you have level 5 engine, because as you can see, the Tiny Toy is actually very slow at level 1 engine. So it's not that fast. And if I go ahead and get inside of first person driving, yeah, you can see the Tiny Toy is not that good. It's just not that fast in my opinion. But once I upgrade this bad boy, that's when it really starts to kick its engines. Because as you can see, the Tiny Toy is already going pretty fast. And unfortunately, I got some problems with the triggers, but that's okay. So I'll go ahead and chill with the triggers. And if I can correctly drive this vehicle, yeah, as you can see, the Tiny Toy is actually pretty fast, but like I said, the triggers are being a bit problematic, so it's going to be tough to drive this vehicle because of the triggers, but yeah, it does work. And also, the terrain is a little bit glitchy, so I apologize for that. but that's mainly because of a certain radius. What in the world? Are you good, camera? Never mind that. Let's go ahead and jump right into number 3. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Would you look at that? We got the Goliath here. Yep, this is part of the number 3 spot. The Goliath is so big. It's a literal tank 2.0 because it kind of looks similar to the tank. But obviously it doesn't have a cannon that shoots out missiles. Instead it has a turret that shoots out bullets. Why is it made out of plastic? I have no idea. Anyway, the Goliath was introduced in Season 12, and it was the grand prize for that season. So you had to reach level 10 in Season 12 to get the Goliath. Season 12 was added in the 2022 fall update, for those wondering. The Goliath itself is a very nice looking vehicle. Sure, it may not be as fast as some of the other vehicles, and yes, the acceleration and launch are both not that great, but the top speed is actually pretty good. It can go up to about 200 miles per hour at max speed, which is ridiculously good for a large vehicle like this one. And here's the interior. Wow, the interior looks so cool. As you can see, we got some gasoline as well as some screens. Hopefully you don't get seizures from that, but this is such a nice looking vehicle, and the license plate background is different, which is cool in my opinion. And the Goliath seats a lot of people. That's insane. I believe the Goliath seats the most amount of people in the game, and still does today. So here's the Goliath without any engine upgrades, and yeah, it's just a pretty sleek looking vehicle. But now I'll go ahead and customize it, and boom, this is the Goliath with my customization. The rims are massive. I am not gonna lie there. The Goliath also has a total of 6 wheels, making this the first vehicle with 6 wheels, which is insane. And this is the Goliath once it's being driven. Oh my! The Goliath is already going insane compared to the tiny toy. Look at this beast. This vehicle is just insane. It's gonna hit that soccer ball. Let's go. Alright, and here's what happens when you use rocket fuel instead of the Goliath. Holy cow, that is insane. It used to flip all over the place, but I'm pretty sure they have already fixed that, so yeah. Oh wait, no they didn't. It still works. Man, this vehicle is actually really sick. That's why I put this at number 3. But obviously there are some better vehicles than this. I just think the design is beautiful. But now let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Coming in at the number 2 spot is the 𝗊𝗫𝗫, or the Big Net, as some people like to call it. The 𝗊𝗫𝗫 was added as part of Season 6. Season 6 released to the public in the 2021 fall update. Season 6 was also considered the easiest newer season because it only took you about a week and a half to reach level 10 with the season pass. And the contracts were very easy to do. You could get a lot of XP out of your contracts. The 𝗊𝗫𝗫𝗫 itself looks amazing. It is based off of the Bugatti Bolide, which I believe is still a fan-made vehicle. I don't know if it is entirely real yet, but it will be eventually. The 𝗊𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 has its own spoiler, and I think the design is just amazing. It was created by Rally, so the vehicle itself looks great, and you can already tell that this vehicle is going to be a beast. Honestly, it's worth putting this at number 2. I still think there is another vehicle better than this, in my opinion, so I'm going to get to it later. But yeah, this is the vehicle once it's being driven, and wow, this vehicle is fast. And I know it's kind of hard to actually view the 𝗊𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 without using first-person driving, but either way, this vehicle is insane. And for those wondering, I am using a controller with cinematic camera, so it's kind of interesting that you can still drive vehicles in cinematic camera with a controller, but it works. So this is the 𝗊𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 being driven, and I'm not gonna lie, it's great. The amount of miles per hour you can get with the 𝗊𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 is about 300. It has been buffed in an update a while back, So even though it's slightly slower than the eclair in top speed, it's still amazing. The handling is even better. So driving this vehicle is surprisingly easy, and yeah, it's kind of nuts. But either way, let's go ahead and move on to the honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is the Poseidon. The Poseidon was the grand prize of Season 16, which released as part of the prison update, but the season itself didn't arrive until like a week later after the brand new prison has released to the game. The Poseidon itself is very unique compared to the other vehicles because it has an animated hot tub. Yeah, I think that is actually kind of sick. The bowls are coming out of the Poseidon itself, and as you can see, it can seat up to 3 people. The design is amazing, especially the interior. Look at the interior. It looks beautiful. I'm not gonna lie there. Not only that, this vehicle kind of reminds us of the 𝗘𝗪𝗓, because both the 𝗘𝗪𝗓 and the Poseidon are kind of based off of a Rolls-Royce. So the Poseidon actually looks nice. I like this vehicle in design. Yeah, it is pretty long of a vehicle, but is it worth driving inside of the vehicle itself? Well, I'll give it a shot. So this is the Poseidon being driven, and wow, it's already going pretty fast at stalk. Holy cow. This vehicle is nearly the same speed as the Pro 08, if not any faster, because the Poseidon itself is surprisingly a good vehicle. So let me go ahead and get inside a first person and just simply drive it for you guys. But obviously cinematic camera is a little bit annoying to deal with, so it may be a bit difficult, but hopefully it works out. So this is the Poseidon being driven, and well, yeah, it is hard to drive inside the Poseidon, but it does work. So I'm gonna carefully drive the Poseidon, but here we go. Alright, here is the Poseidon being driven. Obviously, it's not gonna be like the fastest thing I've ever driven, but yeah. Unfortunately, I do have some issues, but that's okay. I'm just in cinematic camera, so it makes sense. Overall, this is a fantastic vehicle, and I would say this definitely deserves to be part of the honorable mentions. I couldn't really fit the Poseidon inside of the actual list, so that's why I put it as an honorable mention. Alright, here's honorable mention number 2. Honorable mention number 2 is the Frostcrawler. The Frostcrawler was created by Pooga, and it was the grand prize of Season 19. The Frostcrawler is the first season vehicle with a tow hitch. So that means you can tow vehicles with the Frostcrawler, which is awesome. The design is very nice looking, and although the interior is pretty simple, the actual vehicle looks phenomenal. I think this is one of those vehicles I kind of enjoy driving, and yeah, it may not be very fast, but it's definitely worth using. If you really like to tow people's vehicles, it is definitely a much better option compared to the tow truck. So if I go ahead and start driving, yeah, the Frostcrawler is not that fast, but it's definitely not the most obnoxious vehicle in the game. Neither is the worst. So I'll go ahead and just continue driving. And yeah, the terrain is looking a little bit messy, but it's all good. The vehicle itself is not that fast, but it's pretty good. The off-roading is also extremely impressive, because you can technically climb up mountains with no issue. So as you saw, I was able to kind of get up here, and yeah, there's the Frostcrawler way over there. It's just chilling. My goodness, what is going on with the Frostcrawler? But yeah, I think this vehicle is just really nice. Let me go ahead and head back. So I'll go ahead and show you guys proof that the Frostcrawler can tow vehicles. So I'll go ahead and go over here, and boom, I just towed the Striker. And now I'm going to bring it over to, I don't know, let's just plop it down the pond. Yeah, I gotta select the rope button. There you go. Striker, you're absolutely welcome. Oh yeah, I'm going to review the Striker very soon, so please stay tuned for a video on that. But now let's go ahead and move on to number 1. The Volt 4x4 is my all-time favorite, coolest season vehicle. It looks massive compared to various season vehicles. This vehicle is about the size of the Erected, just thicker. Yeah, that's how big the Volt 4x4 is. It's a nice, luxurious car. Well, I don't know if I could say it's luxurious, but it definitely is a nice looking electric vehicle. Because this is also the first electric season car in the game. Volt 4x4 Off-Roader. As you can see, the Volt 4x4 is based off of the Volt bike that we had way back in the day, before it was revamped in the Indestructibles update July 2021. The Volt 4x4 was the grand prize of Season 3, looking back, which released back in April 2021, and it's surprisingly a good season vehicle. The Volt 4x4 at the time was the fastest season vehicle aside from the Torpedo, so this was a fantastic vehicle to get. The problem was, though, the Volt 4x4's spoiler was way too wide. So much so that you couldn't really drive inside of any garage without having to, well, just get on a helipad. But eventually there was an update that allowed players to drive inside of wider garages inside of this vehicle, so we can thank 𝗓𝗔 for that. But all things considered, let's go ahead and give this vehicle a try. So right off the bat, you can definitely tell this vehicle is actually insanely fast. And as of a recent update, the trails of the Volt 4x4 have been updated to fit with the brand new Volt Bikes trails, which I don't really like, but you know, the new trails don't look that bad. Alright, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. So the Volt 4x4 is actually going pretty fast, and I'll go ahead and customize it real quick. So this is the Volt 4x4, and holy cow, this is already going pretty fast. Its acceleration is not that good, neither its launch, but wow, this is actually pretty good of a vehicle. Holy cow, this is actually pretty fast of a vehicle. Some of the other vehicles I have tried to win about 200 miles per hour, but this vehicle can actually go about 240 miles per hour. So that's actually very good. And as you can see, it's already going really fast. And considering this is a pretty thick vehicle, I didn't even expect this to be faster than the Volt bike itself. So yeah, technically it is an off-roader, but it is faster than the Volt bike in terms of top speed. So that's what you get, Volt bike. That's what you get, literally. So yeah, those are all of my top 5 coolest season vehicles alongside the honorable mentions. So please feel free to let me know down in the comments which of those was your favorite. And please feel free to make up your own list of coolest vehicles. So there you go. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I spent some time working on it, and I'm so glad I finally went back to making another top 5, because the last one was back in 2023 and I was off for summer break at the time, so it was definitely very nice just returning to making another top 5. So there you go, my friends. You are absolutely welcome. Alright, well, the airdrop has been collected and I got a police save. Let's go. I have expected that. But yeah, let me go ahead and get my key card over here. Another one. It's just right there. Okay, but let's see what's inside real quick. Alright, I'm going to open it up, and I got myself the rally rims. Not bad. Anyway, thank you for watching. My name is Mr. Vince, and I hope you have a great day.